6:25 local time in St. Bart.
Hi.
There are people working at 6 in the morning, or there are people torturing people with questions 6 in the morning. So everything is good here at St. Bart, and we found a very calm spot close to the church to talk with Damien. Why? Yesterday, you shocked the audience with a statement that aviation has to do something to connect islands, and with a concept slightly different to everything we've heard day one in CARIBAVIA. Can you tell more?
Well, first off, thank you. Tatiana, we know each other for quite a while right
Yes.
now. And that's the only reason I give you the liberty to be so vulgar with me. But it's okay. I appreciate it. I accept it. You know, to be honest, when we started to discuss with Bud, CARIBAVIA, one of the things that came to light was, of course, we're dealing with vertiports and eVTOLs. And then the most important thought came because of St. Bart's, is the fact that St. Bart's is having a vision for these other islands, namely Nevis and Bermuda, as a vision. So with that, from my side, it was just normal. It just came natural to think of an idea to incorporate an idea of vertiports, moving people between these three islands, to suggest an alternative way of moving people, but also incorporating a way to protect these crafts, because they're multi-million-dollar crafts, a lot of vision, thought. But we're in the Caribbean, and we are actually in the hurricane belt. So it's only normal to create something that could assist in movement. Another element in there is, a lot of times vehicles of this nature, or even crafts, they move out of the hurricane belt when hurricanes come. But the intention is always to think of strategies to keep things in place, so that after the hurricane, you have opportunity to move people,
Goods.
move cargo, etc. So it's always good to find a strategic way to keep certain assets in place to make sure protect your context. And that is what I think is very important about, well, the idea that I bring to the table yesterday.
You are among people who are talking about protection, and honestly, this is not something what comes up, and maybe more manufacturers should think about that, because having an aircraft, eVTOL, you can call it as you want, having an aircraft on place, that's the one. But as you told, nature not always is, let's say, sometimes the nature is not so elegant with Caribbean, let's say that. So as you told, there is a real need to think about after what comes, and move people, goods, help, medical supply, and everything.
I mean, one of the key things here, what you're saying, Tatiana, is this. Let's say every year there's a projection of a few hurricanes that are going to come. They might come in this direction, they might not. But you're significantly aware that there's going to be some kind of a hurricane or weather formation. But essentially, the objective by having these kinds of investment is to make some money, and also to create a certain level of experience for your audience, for your clients, etc. And that's what actually you're able to offer. You can offer your services, you can offer your experiences, but at the same time, in every situation, there's always going to be that pot that you can have on the side to give back to the community that you're a part of. You're making money on the community. It's always important to say, hey, how can I give back? This is one way to give back. It's a costly give back, but you got to give back somehow. And this is the way to protect your asset and also find a way to give back to the community.
What do you think about the acceptance? Of course, St. Bart, let's say it's one question. But if we take general public, what do you think about the acceptance of new technologies between islands? Is there a difference between audiences between Caribbean countries and islands?
A good question. What I realize is that, I mean, there's an acceptance. The main question then is implementation,
An
cost
investment.
to implement, right? But also, what is maybe an interesting way of looking at it is that if there's a partnership, then there will be a, how to put it, a liberty in terms of giving certain benefits, because you're bringing something to the audience and you're proving that you're going to do something for your country, the country that you're going to connect with. In that way, they will be more willing to work with you, because then they're seeing that you're not here just to take, but you're also here to give. And by representing that duality, I think most islands will be, yeah, let's go. So you're bringing business opportunity. And I think one of the significant elements that Dorin talked about in his presentation was the idea of slices. Every company, every organization has different parts. And I think within that context, when you come into an island or context, you can create a level of training in those different arenas, so that it's not that they're just bringing technology, but they're also bringing a level of training in the field of that technology.
Knowledge.
Yes. So I think that duality, because normally the students would go out to get trained and come back. But here you have technology where captured audience. Immediately from the onset that you come in, before you arrive, you should have already recruited, so that the moment you touch ground here in the country, you should already have a local team working with you to facilitate activities. And that goes a very far way, because the persons are working, they're getting paid. That means behind every person, you're talking about 4, 5, 8, 10 people that are going to receive some benefits because of your being here. That's a big plus. So you're not just coming to, again, take, you're also coming to give. And I think that way of giving is significant.
Way of giving, an easy question and an obvious one. What do you need to make it happen? Do you need partners? Do you need investors? Do you need local authorities, cooperation? What?
So that's correct. So if you're coming in, you're going to, of course, come and speak with, because the type of investment that you're making, it's not $5, it's
a little bit more,
5 million, sometimes more. So when you're making those levels of investment, you're going to need support. You're going to talk to whether it's like authorities, the government, or certain local partners that you're going to, maybe vendors that you're going to work with. So these kinds of discussions are normal, and then, like I say again, in terms of recruiting local persons to assist, you want to also do that. So maybe there's a recruiting agency that you can partner with to discuss how you're going to, what's the technical side of recruiting persons for that job opportunity or those job opportunities. But I think it will be it's a refreshing approach and a needed approach in today's world, because things are changing, finances are changing. But if there's a way to, again, win-win, that everyone can see that, yes, you're here to win, we are here to win together. Again, that's the best way, I think, to make it happen.
So you're open to be contacted by potential investors, potential manufacturers, potential operators.
Correct.
And you will be the one responsible for this project within Caribbean region.
That is correct at this time.
Perfect.
Yes.
So from our side, I will do what is possible to spread the message.
Thank you so much.
And spread your contact information so people could reach you.
I'm right here in St. Bart's at this time. I'm normally in St. Martin.
Yes, but
in the Golden Triangle. Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Bart's.
Which is the best.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I hope that next conversation we will already have after first step towards the reality of this project.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you again, Tatiana. Enjoy.